Thank you for the no audio. How about now? Oh man, I always forget to press that button. Crazy. Okay, so we're good now. All right, Phil Silver, nice to see ya. LJ Fire 100, is that how I would say that? PBS 420, hey guys, nice to see you, my friends. Nice. Hey Cotter, did I think you were getting a VAP hit, right? A quartz over quartz. Did that come today? Hey Max, nice to see you, buddy. And you got both notifications. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. That's cool. So you got one for Twitch and YouTube. Awesome, awesome. All right, loud and clear, perfect. Nice. Hi Dennis, nice to see you, buddy. You know what? I just had a flash that I meant to message you back, Dennis. Three cities I wanted to mention to you were Toronto, Vancouver, and Halifax is big for folk, like the folk music scene. Halifax is a pretty cool place for that. So I just wanted to drop that. Raptor Claw, nice to see you, buddy. Brian, Rob, nice to see you. Johnny, Ken Chill, all right. DD, all right. Everybody's jumping in. How would I say that? Gil Herme? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, buddy. I'm sorry if I say that wrong, but thank you. Cheers in Brazil from Canada. Dan Hall, nice to see you, buddy. Rob, Northwest 420. Rob O. Honestly, though, I would say my own personal experience of things. Hey, Valium, nice to see you, my friend. Thank you. Okay, yeah, definitely. Toronto has such a cool music scene, such a really interesting independent music scene as well. Like Vancouver, but I think Toronto is, a bit larger of a scale. Montreal is another one that has got a really cool music scene. Yeah, it's pretty fun. There's a lot of really great music, like independent music in Canada. It's very cool. Chronic Master Vapor, nice to see you. Ted, thanks for jumping in, buddy. Dave Kaz, how's it going, my friend? Shizzle. Oh, Rob, I wanted to mention to you too, just while everybody's jumping in. Ninye, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. Follow, buddy. All right, you brought the magic. Oh, nice. All right, Ninye, I'm seeing that. Okay, Rob, and anybody else as well who has a stuck stem. This is another option. I've been like researching like mad looking for these options. So two things to try. If you can take the glass out of the case, dump a little bit of ISO in, the port that is open, and then flip it upside down slowly in a way that gets the ISO up in this joint, right, where it's stuck. Right, and just leave it sitting like that in the sink or whatever, right? Like just kind of prop it up with a cloth or a sponge or whatever, and let that ISO dwell in where the stem is stuck upside down. Let it dwell overnight, and then just try small little twists. Twist, stop, twist, stop, twist, stop, and see if that doesn't do it. Now, here's another one. If you're really, really, hey Edgar, nice for you to jump in. Mad at you. That's funny. Okay, the other thing that you can do as well is Jay Burns, nice to see you, my friend, on Twitch, is take the soft end of a screwdriver, right? The handle end, like the nylon end, and hold the glass, between your legs gently, right? And take the stem with your hand and then gently tap, right, on the side of the glass where the joint is. Very gently, just tap, 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 give a little twist. Tap, 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 give a little twist. And that, sometimes the vibration can pop that joint apart. So there's two things to try that, we haven't tried on that piece of glass. I wanted to just drop it out there. And I think as well, I mean, it happens all the time, right? And yeah, right. I've had a piece of glass stuck. It just magically unstuck itself. I've had that too. It's crazy how you don't really know exactly what it is that does it, but that's a couple more things to try anyway. So give those a whirl and see what happens. I would love to see it. All right, cool. Cool. Everybody's jumping in. Bake Daddy. Nice to see you, my friend. All right. I know I asked, and I just have to go back in the chat for a minute. I was looking to see. Oh, it hasn't arrived yet. Okay. I was looking to see if Cotter's Vap Hit showed up yet. That's a bummer. Okay. If it happens to show up while we're on the live stream, Cotter, put your hand up and let me know that it's there, and we'll have one with you. Right? We'll do the maiden voyage. I was thinking about that this morning while I was having coffee. These are the things that creep into my mind, my friends. You know what we talk about in the chat. This stuff sticks with me. It's pretty funny. Yeah, letting it cool off sometimes helps too, right? You just kind of leave it for some reason. All right, P-Whack. Nice. Can chill nature should you mention squirrels? Well, I'll tell you what. We did talk about them, as you know, last night. Hi, Raven Soulmate. Okay, cool, Cotter. We did definitely talk about some interesting facts about squirrels. I think the one that I'll share in case some people missed it, was I think the top interesting one is a squirrel with their back feet can turn their feet around almost 180 degrees, and that allows them to run down the tree head first because they can turn those back feet all the way around, and then they can grip while they run. I thought that was crazy. But you know what? I have a few more fun squirrel facts that I'm going to pepper into today as well. Too funny, eh? Too funny. I love it. So much fun. Roscoe, nice to see you, buddy. I love it. Blame it on the locked pearl. I do it all the time. Your tariff fee is stopping me from buying one of those bongs. What country are you in, mad at you? Because if you're in America, you know, I'm prepaying them. It's kind of part of the it's just kind of part of it now. I can't do anything about tariffs, unfortunately, right? And I mean, the thing is, doing what I'm doing, I'm a small independent guy. I would love to have distribution, but I don't have a workforce that will allow me to have distribution, and I don't have a profit margin that will allow me to have distribution. So there's so many moving parts to it, right? And I just have to kind of try and do the best I can. I try and keep my price as low as humanly possible, you know, for all the different things that are involved. Oh, interesting. All right, cool. I'm seeing some more squirrel comments. Interesting. What I read, I'm just going to go off sideways for a second. You know what? Let's have a Roscoe. We're 10 minutes in. It's time for a Roscoe. Let's do it. I have Acapulco Gold, Sour Diesel, and Red Congo mixed together. The Sour Diesel and the Red Congo are decarbed. I was vaping this last night, and I'll tell you what, it was making me feel pretty giddy and fun. So, yeah, I'm saying let's go. Let's have a Roscoe. I'm going to, I brought out the Ruby Twist Pro today. I thought it'd be good for quick, you know what? I want to heat the bowl for the first one. I'm going to heat the bowl for 30 seconds. I thought the Ruby Twist would be great for, you know, one and done quick rips while I'm talking. So, yeah. I like to have a ball vape while I'm live streaming, not necessarily because I wouldn't rather be using the locked pearl, because I would. It's just time consuming, right? And it just stops the flow. And I like to keep things moving the way that it works. I think maybe next week or the week after I might just do a full episode talking about the locked pearl. I got a couple things I'm going to show you guys today, and we're going to have a fun little conversation about it. Hey, Kitsune. Yeah, so I got a few things I'll share with you today. Even things, you know, that have advanced from last night's live stream. Actually, things have changed already today with something. So, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit as well. Get into it. Where's my whip hose? But it's time for a good old Roscoe. The wife, 3 hours left in the work day. Oh, yes, you can tell you're in North America. Yeah. Many of us are still in the workday, but all my friends in Britain and Europe are done, and it's Friday night. So I'm into that energy. I figure forget the rest of the workday energy, right? Let's go. All right, my friends. Cheers. Oh, the heated bowl with Ruby Twist. Ruby Twist Pro. That definitely does the job for a good one and done rip, doesn't it? All right, so let's get into it. We're 10 minutes in and I'm starting. Love it. Thermal twist is discontinued. I'm not surprised. You know, that's a funny thing, right? The way that product came out, the thermal twist from Recommended Vape Supply. Back in the day, that was the predecessor to the Ruby Twist. And when that came out, it really it grabbed some attention, but it instantly, not instantly, but it very quickly, the next iteration of it come out, which was the Ruby Twist, and it just kind of took over because they were very close in price. And just adding the few rubies in there, it did make a big difference. So that's right. Hey, boss, can I come home early and sesh? Perfect. Perfect. All right. So the intention for today's live stream, and I was really thinking about this for both yesterday and today. It's really simple. It's just to feel a little more connected, to the crew, to the plant, to yourselves, and to have a good time. Right? Just high vibes and feeling more connected. That's all this is about, having a good time. Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad you're new to vaping and that you're here. That is awesome. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. Nunix. I don't know. We'll go with that. So, yeah, very cool. I'm glad you're here. Here's what I will tell anybody who's new to the live streams. If you're new to the live streams and you have questions, or you're new to vaping and you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you have a question that isn't getting answered, drop it more than once. I have Mrs. TTB off to the sideline. She's kind of working through the chat and seeing what's happening while screenshotting things for me and doing 100 other tasks all at the same time. But what she's really good at is catching the things that I miss in the chat when I'm staring at the camera and, talking to you guys versus watching what's going on. Oh yeah, man, I'm still sim racing. Oh yeah, I love it. Okay, let's get into that in a second. But just drop it in there. Mrs. TTB writes it on a piece of paper, drops it on the corner of my desk, right, to make sure that the questions that you guys really want to have answered, that I see them. So we've got this little system, so if you're new, definitely don't be shy. This is a wrong crew to be shy with. This is the most friendly, kind, welcoming crew of people that you could imagine. Mr. Chums, thank you very much. I'm happy you're here, and you as well, Daisy Flowers 420. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are there on Twitch. Oh, you know what? That's a great question. Just S, do you ever mix material balls, like mix ruby, SICK, or stainless steel? 100% I've played around with all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. You can actually change the outcome by using, say, 50% zirconia and 50% ruby. You'll get a different experience than if you're running straight zirc or straight ruby, for sure. Or mixing some SICK in there or stainless steel. Definitely changes it, and the ratio will change it as well, right? There's small differences, but if you have, let's say you have a ball vape, and no matter what temperature you run it on, it makes you cough, right? But you want the maximum amount of flavor. Just taking out, say, 30% of the rubies and mixing in some stainless steel might just take the cough away. Those tiny things make a big difference. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how small things can do that. Honestly, Doc Bone, I think a lot of people are loving the Ruby Twist Pro kit. I think if you were looking at a screwball, you know, a nice side step without, you know, spending a whole lot more money would be the Ruby Twist Pro. You know, I'm gonna I'm gonna have another one right now. So you can see exactly the kind of rips you can get off of it. You can preheat the bowl like this. I just point the injector at the ceiling, and I use the micro bowl or the micro screen so it's set up high. And I'm just putting in 0.1, 0.12 of a gram and ripping it out in one hard, long rip, and it's super, super smooth. It's a really great way to vaporize it. It definitely, it does, it works well. So I would consider that one anyway. Yeah, I think anybody with the Ruby Twist Pro is going to tell you it's a pretty cool kit. And the price is, you know, the price is pretty fair. Yeah, okay, Daisy Flowers, you swapped out the gem cut rubies for ruby pearls in the wireless one hit wonder V1. So much better airflow and still plenty of heat. You know what I'm going to tell you guys, honestly? I would much rather have round beads than the gem cut most of the time. You know, I'd rather go smaller round beads than gem cut simply because of airflow. You just get a better airflow with round beads. But you need enough thermal mass as well, right? So it's always it's a balancing act with that kind of stuff. Which balls hold the most heat? That's an interesting question. They all have a little bit different of a property, but I find personally, I think the zirconia or the silicon carbide seem to hold the most heat. Ruby produces what I would say would be the most flavor. Ruby, the sapphire as well, right? That's basically the same properties to that, right? Because it's lab made, right? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, JC Vap actually has a write up on that. That's interesting. True enough. True enough. The Ruby Twist is definitely almost complete convection until you heat the bowl the way I am, and then I'm making it a hybrid, so it is convection and conduction. But you can use it either way. Cheers. You see, you just cloud that up, eh? And that's what the flower looks like after I vaped it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's me, HD. You are right on the money. The micro bowl setting, like you can see just how little flour I dropped in there. And I put it on this tray so I could actually show you that. It's very little flour. It's very evenly vaporized, but I'll tell you what, you get big, big effects with this. So I think it's one of the best values out there for, you know, a traditional ball vape, for sure. I think, you know, I think a lot of us definitely have settled on the one and done style, right? It gives you the most flavor and the most effects. At least in my opinion, it does anyway. What will get me the most high? The volcano or a ball vape? I think a ball vape is definitely going to get me a little more high, but I don't know if everybody has seen it because notifications are a bit tough getting out there. But I put out a video a while ago showing kind of like a ball vape hack for the volcano where I filled the chimney for the top part of the lid with beads, and then you heat soak it. You run a bunch of heat into it and get that whole piece good and hot before you put your flour in, and you use a chamber reducer. If you follow that routine, I think it hits about the same as a ball vape. I don't know. I can run either the classic volcano or the hybrid on absolute maximum temperature, and I can rip balloons all day long and it doesn't choke me, you know, and that's a pretty hard hitting experience. So the volcano, if you work with it, can get you there, but I think just plug them in. I think a ball vape is going to get you there faster for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, I think putting 0.1 of a gram in a ball vape, and it's pretty hard to beat the effects, honestly, right? Which micro bowl do I prefer for The wireless one-hit wonder. Let me think about that. I'm trying to think of the bowls that are available for that one. I'm drawing a total blank, Max. Oh my goodness. Yeah, check it out on my channel. Just put in volcano ball vape hack or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. Yeah, and you'll find the video. I did it with both the hybrid and with the original volcano as well, because sometimes if you duplicate something like that, right, some people with a classic volcano won't watch something about a volcano hybrid, right? So I did it with both of them, so you should be able to find it. Ted, thank you so much for saying that. I love it. I love it. I love helping people find their way to vaping. I definitely, it makes me so happy. It's really a major part of why I'm here and why I'm always excited and passionate about this. All right, I'm glad you found the video. Nice. The diffuser pass-through chamber on B Goodies. I have to think about that for a second, Max. Yeah. Carafeline and myrcene for sure. That's it's a good combo for pain. Yeah, time for a Roscoe. I see that right there. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's have a Roscoe. Man, the conversation's moving fast today. This is awesome. I'm gonna heat this up. I haven't even started talking about anything that's on my list of things to talk about, and we are already like 25 minutes deep and having a great conversation. This is amazing, you guys. Like, I love this. This is so much fun because this is truly a campfire hangout conversation, right? I love it. Love it so much. Perfect. Yeah, I know with the Volcano Classic and the Hybrid, they are slightly different setups. So, yeah, it's good to see it both ways. But that was absolutely my favorite hack that I've ever come up with for the Volcano, because it really did bring it in line, in my opinion, with modern ball vapes, right? And I mean, the Volcano's not the most current. It's not the most current vaporizer anymore. Technology has definitely moved from the time the Volcano came out, but some things are unbelievably good before their time, right? And I think that was the Volcano, along with a couple of others. All right, let's hit it. Okay, yeah, I know that glass bowl now. Yeah, I absolutely love that one. Yeah, I use that one. I reach for that one a fairly good amount. I've dropped it a couple of times and it has cracks in it. I've done all this work to try and hold the glass together because I love that bowl. I know what you're talking about. Cheers. I think the Volcano is definitely a piece of vaporizer history that shouldn't be overlooked, right? Like the classic Volcano, man, I love that thing. I really, really enjoy that. True enough, nothing worse than a dead chat. Yeah, that's that's where you guys make it super easy for me. You make it so easy for me because it's such an active chat all the time. I could almost just sit down with a couple of vapes and just be like, all right, what do you guys want to talk about? And that would work out. Oh, did Age jump in somewhere? Well, my eyes won't find it, but that's okay. Oh, definitely. I remember hearing about the sublimator like 10 years ago. I feel like you're someone that would know. I have one. Yeah, I definitely have a sublimator. We'll pull it out one day. You know what? Can't chill nature. That's a good point. Do me a favor, guys. Just for the second it takes, hit the like button. Let's send a message to YouTube that, you know, these live streams are important and that they should be sending notifications. It's the like button that does that. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, please hit it. I don't see age unless I'm not understanding the handle. But I'm not seeing age. Weird, eh? Hey, James. Nice to see you. Too funny. All right, yeah, I'm definitely going to pull the sublimator out. Yeah, I love that thing. What a wicked device that is. That is the most... Too funny. Hang on 1 second. Okay, Mrs. TTB dropped a couple of things. Raven Soulmate wants me to know that she tried the hair straightener thing and it hit her like a truck. I love it. I love it. That made me so happy. That gave me a good giggle. Those little tricks, right? Like pressing rosin with a hair straightener. Again, there's a video for that in the library for anybody who hasn't seen it. It definitely changes the game, right? It's definitely a fun one. So that's cool. It's next level. If you've never tried to concentrate, it's definitely next level. That's cool. Do I use much traditional hash? I don't really vape that much traditional hash, although it's probably the foundation of what I had most growing up, right? It was almost all hash. Flower was what was really rare. But now I find I've definitely reached for flower, 98% of the time. But I still love hash and I like to play around with it. But I guess I just, yeah, I guess because I grew up on it and it was always there. Now I'm, just stuck on the flower still. Pretty funny, but it's nice to pull it in and I feel nostalgic about it, right? And there's other things too that I play around with every now and then, like moon rocks. I don't know if you guys have had moon rocks, but it's like flour and then some concentrates that it soaks the flour, and then there's keef on top of that. Man, it's crazy stuff. And I kind of like half combust that, but I don't. Sorry, I just got distracted by Twitch there. That's funny. Okay, age 440. All right, I do not. No, I don't see that anywhere in the chat age. Yes, squirrels will definitely get my attention every time that's being said on Twitch right now. All you have to do is say squirrel and I'll stop and you got my attention. Too funny. Too funny. But if can everybody else see age in the chat? I'm just not sure if it's just me. Not in top chat age. Okay, no, okay. Interesting, eh? Wild. What do I think about the screwball? Man, I put a million bowls through the screwball. Definitely, it's it's a good value. There's no question about it. The screwball itself, it's a good value. Yeah, and I've definitely enjoyed mine along the way. Definitely enjoyed mine. This is funny. Okay, let me progress. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about. All right, I'm going to share a moment of how things iterate behind the background when I'm working on a new product. I just thought I'd share this. I thought, a 2 or 3 minute talk about this might be interesting for people who are creative and make things. So I'm going to show you this new injector I'm working on. I'll show you this one. This was the very kind of original concept that I had, okay? So what's important is to see this top is closed over, but there's a hole there so that, air can pass through. There's a glass pinch here. There's 4 beads, and then there's a glass pinch here. So there's 2 pinches, and then there's the 4 beads in the middle. And the idea is to heat the side, right? Let's just do it. I'll show you as we go. And I'll explain why this is kind of interesting as we do this. Oh, I'm hitting so many bowls now, I'm getting super high. Uh-oh. It's early to be this high. I have to... Okay, I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Mrs. TTB seems to have an idea about how to fix the chat. Okay, so without using a huge torch. Okay. But I'm going to turn the flame up maybe a little less than that. Right, and the idea, what I wanted to do with this was to be able to heat the outside of the glass and just heat it up till it gets orange on the outside of the glass, but not where the pinch is on the opposite side. Just to put some heat into this, and then to do what we were, what I was showing you, you just kind of hold the torch over it. And then you can decide how much vapor you get and how much of the heat from the flame you pull down. And you're not using a very big torch. And as it starts to heat up, you can really control the vapor. And you can take a very small amount of flour and you can really walk through all the temperature range. And you can totally cloud it up all you want. So this is the concept I was working on in the beginning, and this is the very first iteration of that. Then I started to consider, I wanted to use a single bead or 4 beads, but I wanted to get them up closer to the top so that I could put it, basically you could just use this as a handle, right? You could just leave it in place and then you heat the side. This is what I was thinking. I wanted to get, so you're heating above the handle. You can just leave that right in place and it becomes a really easy way to handle it and manage it. So I started moving everything up and started, like, I made, 10 or 15 different versions of different heights, moving it up and taking one pinch away and trying all this stuff. And I got to a point where I thought I had it, and, it worked. It looked, do I have, yeah. So then it ends up looking like this is where I kind of landed on it. So then I have to test it, right? And I know that I'm going to use it one way. Other people will use it another way. So I sent one out to somebody to try who I know, is going to do a good job of testing it and will give me honest feedback about it. And what report do I get back today? It cracked. I've also had a couple crack along the way. And I'm like, So I'm doing all this work and trying all these different things, and now I start getting cracking in it. Right, and this is why I do all this testing before I'm going to put anything out there, because I definitely don't want anything to crack once it gets out there. I mean, it's glass, and, the odd thing will happen, and that's just kind of part of it. So you just, send a new one and move on, and you don't worry too much about it. But, I really want to try and minimize all breakage with glass components. So I get cracking. I'm like, oh, man. All right, I have some things to learn. Like I learned with the stainless steel locked pearls from sending them out, I need to kind of pack them slightly differently so that the steel beads don't move. Okay, that's a learning curve for me. The cracking, it's a learning curve on this one. So what I ended up doing is going right back to the original design that I made. And I think it's the actual design I'm going to use. So I've done all of these things to try and accommodate just using this as a handle. Am I ever an asshole? Carl, that's a funny question, man. Oh, that's a funny question. Yeah, I definitely think we can all be an asshole sometimes, right? I won't say that I'm never an asshole. I love these kinds of questions. I like the personal questions. I think they're hilarious because it just opens up these fun conversations. I try and stay as grounded as possible, but I will tell you, I push myself to the limit quite a bit just to see what I'm capable of and to try and, I always want to get more done. That's just kind of my personality. And sometimes I spread myself a bit thin and I might not be the most patient person in the world at all times, right? Yeah, but Hatchet, nice to see you. Yeah, so yeah, you just kind of, yeah. I can be an asshole sometimes, no question about it. And you know what? If somebody's threatening in a way to my family or to somebody I care about or something, I'm not afraid to step into those situations and to deal with them, right? I'll definitely be the person who will do that. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it meanly, but I'm going to do it confidently. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like when, somebody's pushes too hard about something or bullies or, takes advantage of how somebody might be docile. I'll definitely be the person to step in and say, I don't think that's appropriate. Right? So some people would call that being an asshole for sure. Oh, good question, JP. Good question. What strain would everyone choose if they could have only one strain for the rest of your life? That's what JP's asking. And top 3 movies of all time is another question that just got dropped. That's 2 good questions. Interesting. Sweet and funky like GMO. I think I think that was a great question. I loved that question. Thanks, Carl. That was fun. So anyway, what was the whole moral of the story on the whole locked pearl? Is I tried, I think I've probably made about 40 different versions just to come right back to the very first one, the original vision. And it worked basically exactly how I wanted it to work, and I didn't have any cracking with it at all. And I've been using them, for a lot longer than these other ones that have cracked. So, turns out I drove all the way around the block just to get back to my own driveway. So I gotta just keep testing the original design and see what happens with it before I come out with it. But yeah, I just thought I would share that. And it's fun when interesting question, Jason. I see that on Twitch. I'll answer that in just a second. Yeah, it's interesting when you're doing this kind of work to try all these different things, and you can't become emotionally attached to any version that you make along the way. And I learned that early, right? You just can't get attached to anything. You just have to keep trying until it's exactly what you want. And what I realized in my own mind, I was sort of thinking about it like a sculptor. I've heard people who do sculpting say they know exactly what is inside the medium. They just have to release it. And I know exactly what I want to create for an experience. And that's the way I look at it too. So, 40 different versions later to come back to the original one, I'm like, well, that's what I was sculpting in the first place. So very cool. So it's fun. It's just fun stuff too, to play around with all this stuff and to learn as I go. So I just thought I'd share a little bit of that with you guys, because figure why not? Let you in on how it works behind the scenes. It's always fun to create this kind of stuff and to talk about it. All right. I'm probably going to say Acapulco Gold if I had to pick one. I think I'll take that. I no idea. Afghan Sour Kush is a great one, yeah. You know, I love Sour Diesel as well. That's another one I have really loved for a long time, but Acapulco Gold is, yeah, Northern Lights is okay, but not the best, yeah. Northern Lights is a nice, smooth end of the day. Yeah. Is the grinder you use important? I definitely think the grinder you use is important. Um, I think it's important to cut the flour versus tear it, if you know what I mean. I think it just gives you a cleaner edge to vape off of, at least in my experience. So, you know, I don't think you need to spend, you know, thousands of dollars on a grinder to get a good grinder, but I think it's important that it's sharp, you know, and it does a good job. I use an electric grinder. What is it called? The cactus cutter. I use this one, and you know, I just do a fairly good job at keeping it clean, and it cuts well. And as long as it's cutting well, you know, I'm good to go with it. So that's the way I see it. So, yeah, yeah, diesel, yeah, garlic. Northern Lights, it's a nice one at the end of the day. Yeah, Acapulco Gold's a sativa, for sure, yeah. But it's a relaxing sativa without sedation, right? So it's not, you know, there's some sativas that make me want to, like, really get up and move. And then Acapulco Gold, I can get up and move if I want to, but I can stay still and I can focus on something as well, right? And it can take me whichever way I need to go. It can accompany me, right? And that is, I think, what I like about the strain so much. And it has a real elevation for me personally, right? And everybody takes it differently, and that's what's cool about it. All right, top 3 movies of all time. All right, let me see. Uh, I love me the old movies. I'll be honest. Like, I definitely think one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's one of the silliest movies ever, is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Absolutely love that movie. That's my. I have nothing to do, or if I'm sick and I'm gonna sit and watch a movie, I'll definitely put that one on. Thank you. Um, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1970s sci-fi movie. Love it. Um, what else? Carl, you're funny. Debbie does Dallas. Too funny. Die Hard, yeah. There's I don't know if you guys remember the movie. I think it was called The Cell. And it actually had Jennifer Lopez in it, I think, maybe. But it was super trippy. It was, you know, they were traveling into people's dream space through these mechanisms, and just the cinematography, the way it was written, shot. That was a super cool movie. Yeah, interesting. Cheech and Chong all day long. That's funny for sure. Can you buy? I don't understand that question. I'm sorry, Ted. What bowl is this? Oh, I see. Oh, I get the question. Sorry, I'm high as hell. Yes, you can buy 2 different diffusers and 1 bowl. You can buy each thing individually, or you can buy the kit that comes with the stand. The stand, I changed the stand. I haven't updated the pictures yet, but I changed the stand so that it has a different style of hole on it. So you can put the 18 millimeter injector and it sits in there nicely, or the 14 millimeter bowl. So this is the 14, or yeah, this is the bowl for the locked pearl with the bypass. Yeah, sorry, I gapped for a minute there. Wow. Oh, that's crazy. I did. I fully gapped for a second. Oh my goodness. Too funny. Too funny. Yeah, so this is the tabletop locked pearl bowl with the bypass. Yeah. Thank you, Roscoe. Yeah, I really liked. Do I have the other stand here? I really liked, the design that had this on top, but it was limiting to only a 14 millimeter connection. And I found, I was trying to figure out where to put the injector. So as soon as I made that switch, I was like, this is perfect. It's so much easier. And, if you drop the stand or whatever, there's nothing to ever worry about getting broken. Right. And it just works well. So, and it's not overly difficult, and it's, it'll last forever. I'm with you, JP. I see it. You don't have to yell though, man. All right. Let me heat the bowl. Well, I probably shouldn't even have one yet, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, where was I gonna? All right, let's. All right, I'm gonna rip this Roscoe, and then let's talk about sticky bricks a little bit. Does anybody out there have a sticky brick? If you don't know what that is, okay, we're gonna talk about it. But I'm just curious. If you have a sticky brick, drop it in the chat. Let me know which one you have, actually. I want to see who's got what out there. I love it, James. That's funny. Jason Spicoli, right on. Great gosh, that's right. All right. A sticky what? Yeah, fair. Okay, that's cool. That's why, I thought about, I wanted to do, yeah, I'll answer that, Mr. Chums. Oh yeah. Let's go. Whoa. Let's have a Roscoe. Oh yeah, I thought about what day would I talk about sticky brick, and I thought, should I do that on Thursday night with the crew that's primarily from North America, or should I do it at a time where maybe people haven't seen sticky brick before, and it's kind of an important part of vaping history, in my opinion. So I thought, yeah, definitely let's do it on Friday, where people maybe haven't seen the whole setup before, and we can kind of talk about where it fits in. Cheers. So smooth when you heat the bowl like that. It's right there. Alrighty, sticky brick time. Let's do it. Okay, so this is the original sticky brick here. Let me just move the flour for a minute. Pretty cool, eh? Like, this is an interesting... this is a beast of a vaporizer. Okay, so this is a heat intake. So you shoot a flame. I gotta watch that. Oh, that was close. You shoot a flame in here while you inhale through here. Now, sticky brick, because this is all magnetized together. Okay, so you can see there's magnets. Magnets, air hole, travels up into here and out the mouthpiece. And then there's the bowl down there. So you drop your flour in there. Put your heat intake on. You get a small torch. Whoa. Something like this. Let's do a demo. So yeah, this, let me get my facts. My facts about the sticky brick. This is, I'm going to bring out 3 different sticky bricks to show you guys. But this was the OG. This is where it started. Yeah, Raven Soul Make. I definitely wake and bake. Any tips? Definitely decarb the flour and use low temperatures, and you should be good to go. So if you want to, you can email me at info@tabletopbong.com. Drop me an email and I'll send you the little decarb recipe. Or you know what, I'll just drop it right in the description, actually. Why don't I do that instead? I'll drop it right in the description. I use a dual decarb, and then I add moisture back to flour just using, you know, these little raw terracotta discs. I soak it in distilled water, and then, you know, dry it off so that it's just holding moisture, and then I put it in with the flour until it reaches the right sort of moisture level. And then I can have that all day long. And there's zero sedation to it, no fog at all. So that's how I do it. I have to do a full... I'm going to have to do a full video on exactly that whole protocol from start to finish, how I do it to kind of remove that fog feeling and sort of replenish the terpenes and moisture and all of it. I'll do a full video on it. That's on my list of things. It's just going to be a time-consuming one to shoot, so I kind of put it off, but I really need to do that one. Yeah. Hello from Saskatoon, Mark. Love it. Age 440, now I see you. Yes, whatever Mrs. TTB did, it worked. I see you there. Cool. Is that something, if Mrs. TTB is listening, is that something that you can share in the chat, how you did that so that age became visible? Okay, thanks. Would you please and thank you do that? Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We got that happening. Hey, Aaron. Nice to see you tonight. Yeah, decarbing the flour. I definitely have to do that, but I'll drop the formula. It's a dual decarb, and it seems like it's a bit aggressive with the flour. But once you do it a few times, you kind of get to understand it a little better. And once you try vaping the flour after doing the decarb, you see that it does definitely feel different. Right? I mean, even just try a small little bit. Can weed be decarbed without smelling up your apartment? Yeah, it can. Yeah, okay, Rob. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that, because you can decarb it, but the thing is when you do a decarb, to remove that feeling, that foggy feeling, you can't really cover it while you're doing the decarb. You need to allow it to breathe during that process. So then you can't really do that without there being any smell. So, but you can do a decarb for sure with, a silicone box with a lid and put it in a air fryer. Things like that can definitely work. Yeah. Yeah. Mason jar and an instant pot. Yeah, that'll activate the flower for sure. And I mean, that's the thing about decarbing, right? Nice to see you too, my friend. Um, Sous vide to decarb, somebody suggested. Yeah, but see, if you're in a position where you can decarb with it uncovered, it kind of lets any of that foggy feeling kind of lift off of the flower, and it doesn't seem to return because it's not covered, right? So yeah, anyway, I'll drop it in the description. If anybody wants to try it and report back, that's cool. I know a few people have tried it and get it and love it. So maybe not for everybody, and it's all good. All right, so sticky brick, yeah, back to it. I just got sidetracked. All right, did I put any flour in here yet? No. All right, let's put some flour in there, and yeah, there it is. I'll show you guys how this works. So sticky brick came out in 2015 from United States, North Carolina. Yeah, I've been around since 2015. Now, this is pure convection vaping, right? Pure convection. Now, what I find personally, I find this size of mouthpiece makes it really hard for me to not cough using this. So I created a little mouthpiece just with a little silicone adapter that I can stick into the end of it, and it becomes a little extension, but it reduces it and it makes it smoother. But I'll try it without first. All right, so you just shoot the flame in while inhaling, and you just have to be careful not to take the flame in too deep because you combust, and if you don't go in deep enough with a big enough flame, you won't get any vapor. So you have to find that sweet spot. There's the heat path there. I'll tell you what, I've never really had any issue with keeping a sticky brick clean, right? You remove the plug and you can, clean out the, you get access through the side, so you can clean out at the bottom, right, where you can't reach this way. So you get access to clean it, and, the wood, the way it works, I put 1,000,000 miles on the sticky bricks. Yeah, they're pretty cool. All right, let's give it a go. Nope, not enough. A little bit of vapor. So you have to take your time and get the feel for it. Each time I pick up a different one, it takes me a few rips at it to get the timing down, and then you can just kind of get it dialed right in. And you can just kind of puff away on it. If you really want to cloud it up, just draw a little bit faster and push the flame in a little bit more, and you'll cloud it up. But you have to be careful because you'll definitely push closer, and you'll get push a little bit closer to combustion, and you'll definitely get warmer vapor. But you can definitely, on the inhale, you can feel when the vapor is getting warm. Oh man, that hits so hard because it's pure convection. So when you really, really push it, whew, hits hard. Hits hard. That's where I like it. The nice light vapor. The flavor, it's pure convection, right? So the flavor is absolutely fabulous. You got to be careful with the hot components when you play around with it, though. Right? And using very little bits of flour. Sticky Brick OG from 2015. Okay, so key features: purely manual, full convection. Where they fit is, this was out right before ball vapes, right? So this was the big heavy hitter option, especially if you moved into the desktop version that you connect to a water piece. This is called the Hydro Brick Max. And what happens, that's your bowl in here. And do I have what I'm looking for here? Have that. Okay, where'd to go? All right. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just using an 18 to 14 millimeter adapter. So I'm just going to use a short piece of whip hose with two 14 millimeter connectors on it. So it just looks like that. And it just connects to the water piece like that. So then you drop your dry herb in. Oh, we're going to do this. Might as well just do this. This one, what's cool with this one too, it also came with a mouthpiece. So you could use it like that, which was cool. I liked that option with it too. But this particular one, I put probably how much does a sticky brick cost? I think they're somewhere around in the neighborhood of around 200 US. I think I haven't actually looked at the price in quite a while. Maybe 200. 250 US, depending on what you're looking at. Some of them less than that too, though, right? Like they have a fairly good product range. Like they also have a smaller one called the Runt, which I know was under 200. I think it was 200 Canadian maybe. So like there's definitely a price range for sure. Sticky Brick Labs is the website, stickybricklabs.com. Yeah, but I'm not an affiliate or anything. I got this before a ball vape. This is what I was using as my desktop vaporizer. This exact one right here. And I used this for a couple of years as, my primary desktop vaporizer and absolutely loved it. So this has a real place in history, right? Being in my opinion, the heaviest hitter available before a ball vape enters the scene. And, if you dial this in, I honestly think, okay, thank you, 150 euro for the Runt in Europe, the Runt is this one. 150 euro for that one, okay. Interesting. So, yeah, it would, I think the euro and US are similar. And Canada is definitely far less. Yeah, so, but these are all, all wood, magnets. They're very, very well constructed. You know, it really, what it did for me was it really put full control of convection vaping at my fingertips. I could sit down and in less than a minute, I could feel completely different than I did a minute ago and not even think about a preheat, right? I just sit down, pick up the torch, right? Drop a scoop of flour in, and literally 30 seconds later, you're into vapor. No heat up and pure convection. So, you know, more flavor. Felt like a cleaner effect than some of the more electronic devices, you know, and as electronic devices continue to evolve, things change, right? But at the time, I just liked this over basically anything I could put my hands on. And I think I like the manual experience. I like to take electronics out of the vaping experience if I can, right? I just, that's me personally. That's my from years of experience. I just know that's what works for me the best. So I just focus on that. You know, and this kind of fit in every category I wanted. And this is always within reach still. You know, it hasn't hit the shelf and not come back out. It's a pretty funny thing, this Hydro Max. I have loved this thing for a really, really long time. And surprisingly efficient, these things. You can put in a small amount of flour and, you know, take a few really nice draws off it and get a big effect. You know, and you're not using much more than, say, 0.1 of a gram or something, and you're definitely getting a big, big experience with it. And think about it. There's not really, you know, much that can go wrong with something like this. You might break your heat intake, right? Like that's kind of your risk is just a couple of glass components, really. But otherwise, you know, it will last an absolute lifetime. So I look at that too and I think, man, yeah, I love this thing. Let's go ahead and throw some flour in it. Oh man. Oh man. This is a great blend of flour that I've put together, and it's definitely fun for live streaming. As long as I can stay focused, it's a good blend. But it hits so hard, it's easy to kind of lose focus a little bit along the way too. All right, I'm gonna just take a second here and look at the chat for a second. I've missed what's going on. You can definitely decarb in bulk with the Ardent, but the particular formula I use, the Ardent doesn't go high enough to do the final phase that I like to do, and the final phase is kind of important to really lift that final layer from the flour. And it's one of those things, if you experience the flour after, you'll understand what I mean. But you know, if you get any tired feeling from, you know, a sativa that you really shouldn't feel tired from, after it's done the dual decarb that I do, I don't really feel, personally, I don't feel any sedation from that flour after that. I feel the elevation effects again. All right, so, but the Ardent doesn't quite get it high enough. Yeah, definitely. info@tabletopbong.com. Yeah, email me, Jason. Definitely do it, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and let's hit this thing. All right, so this is the Hydro Brick Max. This wood is called Canary Wood. I'll bring it in a little bit closer. It's a really, really nice wood. This is super seasoned. I've had this for years. Years and years. Yeah, love this thing. Love it. Yeah, the learning curve, though, there's definitely a learning curve with these, and you have to be patient. And I think that's what I like about it as well, is, it really pulls you into your session versus being on autopilot, right? With the electronic vaporizer, it's very easy to just turn it on while you're doing other things, load it, not really even think about it. You have the same, preset temperature already set on it. And then you can vape it and turn it off and, completely miss half the experience. And it's easy to do that. And there's a time where it's better to do that than not have a vape, right? And I get that 100%. But it's also nice to just be able to sit down and become patient and present and relaxed in your session just for a minute even, right? So let's go ahead and we'll hit this and I'll see how I do with it after. Yeah, Kenchel Nature. I'll definitely demo the little one in 1 minute. Yeah, sure. All right, let's go. Cheers. You know what? I don't normally use that torch. I normally use this one turned down. It's a bit of a wider flame. First draw, I try and go really easy and get as much of the flavor as possible with pure convection. That first hit, it's unlike any other flavor. You just have to take your time through it, though, and don't push the heat. Just get to visible vapor and try and just slow it down enough to enjoy that. It's beautiful. And then you can just hit it with a little more heat, and then you can start to cloud it up. And the idea is to build into the heat instead of hitting it hard and fast with the torch. If you can bring it up to temperature, there's a point you can feel it when you get used to it, where you're walking it up in the temperature instead of it being dramatic. And then you stay away from, yeah, canary wood, Dee Dee. That's exactly right, yeah. You can have some really, really thick, pure convection vapor. And then I just take and give it a little stir. And I've only put in about less than 0.15 of a gram, I would think. I'll show you when it comes out anyway how much is in there. But we can go right back in and we can have it again. Have some more of it. Get some big, big rips with this. As you may tell, sticky brick. I need 1 minute before I do the rent, that's for sure. Sticky brick has definitely influenced the way I look at products when, I'm developing things. Because I've had such a love of these products over the years and I've used them personally, and it has nothing to do with, supporting sticky brick or whatever. I mean, I bought this because I wanted this for my desktop vaporizer, right? And then I used it like mad for a really long time. Once I started the channel and started testing ball vapes and all kinds of other vapes, this kind of slowed down. But, you know, using any one vaporizer consistently really slowed down, right? Because I was moving through learning about all of these things at the same time. I feel like I'm talking a lot and I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the chat. Sorry about that, guys. It's but yeah, I really enjoy talking about the sticky brick. I think, you know, things like this, that they just, yeah, I'm happy they exist. It just makes me happy that they're part of the world, and, you know, that they're, yeah, they'll be around for a long time too. Right? Maybe, I mean, maybe sticky brick won't be around forever, but the products will, you know, they'll be around because they're such forever style of product, right? Even if it hits somebody's closet, it'll still be there. It'll be, it will still provide the same vapor in 10 years, right? As it does now, pure convection. Yeah, like it's a piece of history, and I think, you know, I would love to see more love for the sticky brick even today, right? But I mean, there's no other things to buy to go with it, so you know, there's no induction heater, for instance, right? You get your small torch and your device, and that's kind of it. Now you just enjoy it, right? So it's hard to expand on this. So if you're somebody who likes things that you can keep expanding on, the only thing you can really do is buy the next sticky brick. But, you know, when you're like me, at a point you have all of them. Or basically there's one I don't have, I think, because I couldn't get it in Canada, right? Hey, my guy. All right, I'm going to just have a little sip on this runt. And again, I'm going to be very careful with what I'm doing with the torch. I'm not going to push in too far. I'm going to kind of walk the temperature up, and I can kind of watch here in the stem while I'm doing it, what's happening with the vapor. And hopefully I don't combust. Let's go. No, not enough. Yes, I put balls in it. Yep. All right, I gotta give it more heat. A little more heat, a little more speed, a little more vapor. Neighbor just brought over some nachos. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. When a neighbor brings you food while you're sitting and having a sesh with your friends, that's super cool. You can sip on this. Oh man, so nice. You can really push it. I'm gonna give it a little stir. It comes with its own stir stool. Stir tool. Yeah, these things are so much fun. Small adjustments in torch position and Pure convection without water always gives me the terp tickle. When you guys hear me say I'm quick to cough, that's what I mean by that. I definitely get the terp tickle. I normally, with pure convection vapes, will use water or dry rips work depending on the temperature. But I'm just using something to help diffuse it, right? Because it's just a lot of terpenes, a lot of flavor coming through. Everybody's got the munchies, eh? That's too funny. The Peak Pro for a dab, that's gonna definitely, that's gonna ramp it up, isn't it? Definitely gonna ramp it up a little bit. So, yeah, sticky bricks. They're definitely a piece of history. I think that when you get the sticky brick dialed in, I'm gonna go back actually to the Hydro Brick Max. I'm gonna just hit that another time here. When you get dialed in with it, it blows me away how hard it can actually hit. I think it's absolutely equivalent, say, to a pure convection injector ball vape. I think a sticky brick is absolutely equivalent to that, right? Because it is pure convection. It's high heat. It's a similar distribution of heat over the flower. And it comes on gentle. So if you know what you're doing, you can really walk into the whole experience and bring out the very best in the flower. So you have a little more control with a sticky brick than you do, say, with an injector ball vape, right? So, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting stuff. Oh, yeah. All right, my chat froze way up there. Oh, man. All right. All right, I'm catching up, but I'm missing stuff. So, right, the Honest Torch does work good on these. I got really used to using this style of flame. If I was forced to combust, what method would I choose? That's an interesting one, my guy. Well, I have a device called the Hitoki Saber, and it's a laser ignition combustion device, right? So you do bong rips, but you load the flower, and it's a laser actually that ignites the flower. So it's a completely different experience, and there's different settings for the laser between high, medium, and low temperature. And I put it on low temperature, and I watch the smoke. I use a long straight tube if I'm going to use that, like a 16-inch straight tube, and I watch the smoke in the straight tube, and I can see when it's about to get darker, and I stop drawing there and I clear the bong. And it's like a hybrid between combusting and vaping. It's kind of cool. It can really and every now and then, because I smoked for so long, I do get the urge to combust, right? And it's just part of the journey, right? I combust for, I'll have a sesh combusting, and I'll be like, oh, this is so gross by the end of the session, right? And I'm so happy to go right back to vaping, and it just reinforces everything. But yeah, definitely, I find that the Hitoki Saber is a really fun way to do it. Or The other thing I'll do is I'll do bong rips, and I'll take a glass rod and I'll heat the glass rod with my torch, and then I'll use that to touch the flower while I'm inhaling and just get these plumes of smoke. But it's much cleaner than if you're using a lighter. It's just a different way of doing it too. Yeah. It's so funny, right? Like, I think we all at 10-year blunt smoker, eh? Yeah. You know what? Blunts are probably, that's my favorite joint style experience for sure, as a blunt. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Does THCA flowers need decarbing? Interesting. When you use a device that heats the flower to vaporize it, that activates the flower in the oven. So you don't necessarily need to decarb it. You can decarb it, but typically your vaporizer will do that job for you. Same as if you get, like, say, THCA diamonds, right? You just drop that in your regular e-rig or banger. You don't do anything with it, and it's just the heat that activates it. That's all it takes, right? It just takes heat. So yeah, not necessarily the full decarb though. Right, all flour is THCA flour. Right, exactly. It's just it's a term, right? It's just it has a legal purpose, right? More than anything else. Yeah, I wouldn't. I definitely would not consider smoking blunts as a regular way. As somebody who used to smoke cigarettes and a lot of joints, a blunt is like sitting back and having a cigar, right? That's kind of what I think about when I'm thinking about a blunt. Is that whole sort of cigar style experience? Yeah. Oh, what do I think is next for us flower lovers? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you know what? I can't wait to see. Technology is a funny thing, right? As soon as you see certain technologies, you go, "Oh yeah, that just makes sense." Of course, that makes sense. But I expect to see certain trends for sure are going to be part of the technology in the future for vaporizers. I definitely expect to see more app driven devices. I think that's just kind of a given in our world as we move forward, right? More heavily digitized gear. You can use firmware to change the way vaporizers work. Like, you can just change the whole experience through firmware. If it's built that way. So yeah, I know, right? I don't want to update it, but at the same time, I think it's, we're kind of following the trends that we see in phones and things like that. That seems to be what happens with all this kind of gear. As far as tech moves forward, I think it infiltrates everything. And that's why I like talking about stuff like this, quite honestly, because these are timeless things. Yeah, it's cool to have technology, and let's see what's next, and let's embrace it and check it out and see. Maybe we find something, a way to connect with the plant that we didn't have access to before because we didn't have the technology. We don't know till we try, right? But I also think it's really important not to let go of the basic technologies that don't require any electronics, right? Where it's a slowdown, it's you connecting, with the plant through the devices and through your own energy and your desire and your intention, right? You have to really think these things through to use this thing. You can't just sit down on autopilot and be on your phone and do this and have a good session. You can't do it. You got to just kind of put your phone down for a minute and you got to go, okay, let's do it. And then you put the heat to it. You have your rip, you exhale, and then you can go to your phone for a second, right? But for this moment, you got to be present, and that slows you down and it brings you here. And I think, we have to keep these in the rotation while other things evolve. That's for sure. Oh, you know what? I just saw. Okay. Squirrel time. Okay. Fun facts about squirrels. Here's 5. All right. Squirrels can survive falls that would kill much larger animals. Because squirrels are so light and they have very low terminal velocity, they spread out their body and use their tail as a parachute, allowing them to survive falls that would seriously injure much larger animals. Right? So they just kind of parachute themselves. It's pretty cool what they can actually do as far as having these massive falls. Some scientists wonder if you couldn't drop them from almost any height, and because they wouldn't hit hard enough on impact, right? Like, it's crazy. Okay, another fun fact. Their front teeth never stop growing. Okay, take that one in for a second. Their front teeth never stop growing. So what they have to do is their incisors grow continuously throughout their entire life. They have to chew on nuts, bark, sticks, antlers, even like deer bones, to keep their teeth worn down. This is a part of their experience of life, is they have to make sure they keep their teeth worn down. Too funny. All right, Roscoe. All right. Did I load this or did I not load this? Or was that was still loaded, wasn't it? See, I do this every time I live stream now because I'm busy talking. No, that definitely was vaped. Okay, good. I'm glad I changed it out. All right, deer nuts. Too funny. All right, let me load this up. We'll hit this, and I'll give you a couple more fun facts about squirrels. I can't believe we talk about this. Too funny, eh? Too funny. All right, let's go. No, I don't want this one. I want this one. Take my time and get all that flavor. For sure. When it comes, yeah. When it comes to making changes in your session, you can do them absolutely on the dime, right? You can go from flavor sipping to a massive rip and literally just moving your torch a half an inch closer and speeding up your draw a little bit, and all of a sudden now you're throwing bigger clouds, right? So you have wow. Holy smokes, I missed a whole bunch of the chat there again. It stopped again. It's not just me, I promise. Well, maybe it is. Such a fun vape to use. Oh, Connor. You know what? I'm a Canadian. I might just have one handy. Imagine I just lifted up a cage with a beaver in it. Right? These are super rewarding, these manual sessions. I think so anyway. I just feel like you're just more connected to the whole experience. Right? And when I created the tabletop locked pearl, you know, where, ouch, this is a heat intake and it has balls in it and it works, you know, just a little bit differently, a little more directly. But, you know, it's kind of inspired by this sort of an idea, of course, right? And when you spend a lot of time using a particular device, it really infiltrates the way your thoughts work about vaping. So when I'm creating things, you know, this is definitely an influence in there. Don't want that one. Don't know why I keep grabbing it. Yeah, we can't start, but no, we gotta draw the line at beavers, or I mean, at squirrels. Too funny. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Yeah, we say beavers too many times, the live stream will get flagged. Okay, a couple more fun facts about squirrels. Let's do it. They can automatically judge when they're looking at a branch that is across from them on another tree. They can automatically judge. They just automatically know whether that branch will be able to hold them or not. There's not really any question to them at all. Somehow they have this inner mechanism that lets them know that it's safe or not safe to make a jump. That's crazy, eh? Like, I mean, how many times have we seen, like, you know, a fail video of, you know, an animal trying to jump onto something and completely missing and stuff like that? But apparently squirrels just don't have that. They know exactly when they jump that branch will hold them and how it's going to work out. It's pretty wild how smart they are. Yeah, right? All right, here, this one, oh my goodness. This one I thought was so sweet. Baby squirrels purr. So what it says, and I just pulled these through AI, right? I was looking at fun facts about squirrels with AI to put this list together. When baby squirrels are comfortable and nursing, they make a soft purring sound, similar in purpose to a kitten's purr. Most people never hear it because it's so quiet. But think about how cute that would be, right? A baby squirrel purring. I was like, unbelievable. That blew my mind. Yep, blew my mind when I read that one. That's true, Ezra. Exactly, right? Cat's whiskers let them know. You know what, Roscoe? Mrs. TTB just gave me the wave and said, I'll see you later. She's going out for Friday night with her friends, so I don't think she's going to catch that one, buddy. Yeah, so, yeah, if I keep reaching over here and hitting the button and stuff like that, it's because, normally there's a filter, an automatic filter with YouTube that will, make you review certain words. And normally she does that, but now I'm doing that at the same time. So yeah, cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I like this one too. Sometimes they'll pretend to forget where their food is. So if they're out, and they're in, the where they live, and they're looking for the nut that they buried earlier, right? They're looking to dig it up and eat it. But if there's another squirrel watching, they'll pretend to be digging in certain spots where there is no food just to throw the other squirrel off their track. I was like, oh my goodness. That was, yeah. I was like, that's pretty smart, man. You throw them right off completely by digging in all the false places. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's this one I thought was cool, so I thought I would add it in too. Scientists have found that a squirrel's hippocampus, that's the part of the brain involved in memory, becomes more active before memory as they prepare to remember hundreds or even thousands of food caches. It's almost like they get a seasonal memory upgrade. And they proved this scientifically. I was like, that is so cool. Hey, Bri, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you, my friend. All right. Wow. Tabletop squirrels, great gosh. Tabletop squirrels. All right. I am going to move the sticky brick for a minute. I got to take that off there. All right. Here's what I wanted to do next. All right, I did some more true and false questions. I want to. I'm testing to see if I can throw harder questions out there and see what happens. But I know for those who have been here for a lot of the live stream, the number of Roscoe's we've had along the way has made it hard to think in these bigger questions, but we'll give it a try. See, I'm even having a hard time following along myself. Squirrel saying hello, friends. I love it. Yeah. I think the squirrel has to be saying hello, friends. It's Roscoe time. I think that's probably the idea right there. Okay, let's try a few true or false and see what happens. Okay, true or false? A slower draw always produces better vapor. Or denser vapor. Let's say that, denser vapor, because people will say, what is better? So, a slower draw always produces denser vapor. True or false? What do you guys think? Heck yeah, we're hitting it hard, eh? Speaking of which, I gotta go ahead and heat that bowl up, don't I? It's gonna be time for that in just a second. All right, we have false. Jason? False? False? Rob says true? False? Darren says always? False? Loaded? False? Yes and no? You're covered there. You say yes and no, you're definitely going to be right. uh, all right, what I will say about this one. Okay, false. I'll have a look. I love it. No idea. That's perfect. Do your investigation. uh, it really does depend on the device that you're using and the style of vaping. Like, as you noticed when I was using the sticky brick, what I was saying is if I want to produce a larger cloud, what I do is I advance the torch and speed up my draw speed. So those two things combined actually equal a bigger inhalation of vapor, a denser vapor cloud than if I'm using a slow draw. So it really does depend, but in many circumstances, the answer would be that a slower draw is a better option for denser vapor. But in certain circumstances, try speeding up, and you might get a different outcome. So that was, I thought, a good one, because my instinct too, before I really sat and thought it through from all the different things I've tried, I would have said, yeah, definitely a slower draw is going to give you denser vapor, and most of the time it is right. All right, let's see who might know the answer to this one. CBG is often referred to as the mother cannabinoid. Has anybody heard that? Do you believe that? Is that true or false? What do you think? Whiskey bong. That's funny. Slow then quick. Yeah, that's right. That's for many. No idea. You're right on the money there. Slow in the beginning, get it fully heat soaked, and then speed it up, and you can, then you can keep that heat churning. Okay, you lie down. My dog is staring at me with a bone in her mouth like, can I lay here and make this incredible amount of noise chewing a bone? And she's definitely going to lay down and have a nap. Too funny. CBG is definitely known as the mother cannabinoid. And CBG is known for having an uplifting feeling. There, a lot of companies now are adding CBG, or looking at CBG heavy strains, and kind of playing moving genetics a little bit to make sure that there's high levels of CBG in certain plants, right? And it's working into the equation. But it's definitely known for being uplifting and elevating. So definitely, that was one I just didn't know where everybody's understanding of things is. So I'm kind of testing the boundary of how these questions will work out. What's my dog's name? My dog's name, no joke, is Kitty. Yeah, like kitty cat, Kitty. Yeah. But you know what's funny about it? It suits her. She's a lab, right? And a golden lab. And she's just the sweetest thing ever. Every time I look at her, I'm like, oh, you're the softest, most gentle soul in the world. Yeah, so Kitty just kind of fits her. It's funny. Yeah. Okay, here's one. Cannabis trichomes. We'll find out if everybody understands even what that is. Cannabis trichomes evolved primarily as a protective mechanism for the plant. What do you guys think? True or false on that one? All right, we'll see you, Age. Mint Rob says true. Let's see. Stump. True. 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 No idea. Saying true. Rob saying true. Sounds true. Sticky means get away. Exactly, Dan Hall. You just nailed it right there, right? That's, yeah, perfect. Great Gosh has got true. Daisy Flowers 420's got true. Yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of variables to, why plants will, look certain ways as they grow between the strains. But there's other, variables for sure too in your grow that make a big difference. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, 100% that's true. And it is that thing, right? Sticky means get away. Exactly. Um, Yeah, and they protect the plant from all kinds of things, right? And yeah, so definitely it's lucky us, right? Lucky us that it worked that way. uh, okay, what about this one? True or false? Linalool, the terpene linalool, it's naturally found in lavender. What do you think? True or false? Okay, Jason says true. Linalool is naturally found in lavender. True or false? True that. Right, the sticky does attract me to it too, Roscoe. All right, I think everybody turn. No idea. Too funny. Don't know. The smell is also a defense for sure, right? That skunky. It mimics the skunk smell in many cases. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, perfect. Okay, true. What can I win? You can win the opportunity to play in the next round. We haven't quite reached the lightning round yet. Too funny. Yeah, definitely. When you have flour, if you when you take that moment to smell it and take it in, if you do that and you pick up that hints of lavender, that is definitely the linalool. So yeah, that one's true for sure. Um, what else do we got? Okay, let's see what you guys think about this one. Quartz stores heat better than ruby. What do you think? Does quartz stores heat better than ruby? True or false? All right, so far I'm seeing falses. I'm seeing no idea is flying. I hear you, buddy. I'm right there with you. I'm not even sure how I'm doing this now. No joke. I'm not sure how I'm continuing to keep going here. I appreciate you sharing catfish that when you say don't know, I appreciate that. That also helps me understand, right? When I'm thinking about things we should talk about or content or things that might be interesting. When you don't know that, that's definitely a flag, right? So that's awesome information. Appreciate it. Okay, interesting. All right. So quartz stores heat better than ruby. The answer is false to that. Ruby does hold the heat longer, but it takes longer to heat ruby than it does quartz. So that's the trade-off when you're playing around with, with different beaded devices, right? That's why ruby became kind of the standard, because once it gets heated, it really does hold the heat for a lot better than the trade-off is excellent. With quartz, it's faster heat off, it's faster to let the heat go off. So it's just a quicker response time all the way around than with ruby. And I've tested that myself, of course, with all the different beads in the locked pearls and stuff like that. And oh yeah, dry mouth. Right, exactly. Jason says it's impressive how long the Sapphire Plus, uh, the insert for the Switch 2 will maintain heat, right? Like that has basically the same thermal properties as if it was made from, lab grown ruby. It's very, I think it's actually pretty much identical, if my memory serves me correctly, or very close, if not identical, properties for, holding the heat and, for how it works as far as flavor is concerned. I know when I put the insert into my Switch 2, I know I definitely thought it changed the game dramatically. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely a worthwhile, it's a worthwhile thing to do for sure. Yeah. We'll have to see. I'll have to ask Mad Heaters about those snap discs. See what's up with those. That's an interesting thing. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. All right. Hey, no facey. Um, all right, how about this one? Let's see what we think here. The entourage effect. We've all heard about the entourage effect with flour, right? The entourage effect is considered a proven scientific fact with complete agreement amongst researchers. What do you think? True or false? The entourage effect is considered a proven scientific fact with complete agreement among researchers. I'm heating that bowl, aren't I? All right. let's have a Roscoe while you guys answer this one. The entourage effect is considered to be proven scientifically. Getting a lot of false there. Hey, Robert. Cheers, my friends. Oh boy. Ruby Twist Pro. Heat in the bowl, micro bowl, or micro screen. 555 degrees Fahrenheit does the job. Man, that hits hard. Ooh. Okay, the entourage effect is not scientifically proven. It's funny how slow certain research goes when it comes to the plant and how quick other things get proven. But there's been no real scientific efforts that are documented that I can really find anywhere that would support anybody's even trying to prove the entourage effect. But what's funny about it, I think any of us who have experienced the plant with a half decent quality vaporizer can definitely verify the entourage effect beyond scientifically, right? Like it's just doggone physical. So yeah. You prefer the Ruby Twist over the wireless one-hit wonder? That's an interesting question because I actually I feel like they both give me a very similar experience. But when I'm on a live stream, I'm definitely hitting it pretty hard, right? And sometimes it's like back to back, or when I'm seshing, if I'm having a heavy sesh, if I want to, like, let's say, and somebody asked earlier in the live stream if I'm still into doing, the racing sim. Yeah, definitely. I love playing it. I'm on Forza 7 right now with my Xbox, and, I got the steering wheel and the whole thing going on. Right, and sometimes when I'm playing that, I like to get ultra ripped, and I like to, hit like say four bowls maybe back to back, and then jump into the simulator seat and race away, right? And it's so much fun. So in that case, I definitely am going to pull out something wired, right? Because otherwise, I'm cooling it down. And that's the thing, when I'm live streaming as well, I realize I need to stick with something that's wired because I don't know how hard I'm going to end up hitting it. Yeah, nice. Okay, Jason. Yeah, same with Forza with the wheel. I love it, right? It's so much fun. If I had to choose between the screwball and the ruby twist, uh, I would say, okay, here's what I would say. I would say if you're going to go Ruby Twist or Screwball, I would probably go Screwball. If I had to pick between Ruby Twist Pro and Screwball, I would say Ruby Twist Pro. And the reason I say that is because you get everything you need in the kit to remove the twist and expand it to a full, ruby filled ball vape, which is a completely different or a somewhat different experience anyway with the ruby twist. So it's like getting two vaporizers in one, two experiences in one, whereas the screwball is more like it's kind of single focus, right? Like it works how it works and that's it. I find with the screwball, the half bowl setting is a pretty nice setting with that, right? You can not use a ton of flour, but otherwise, I think if you're using the full bowl setting with the screwball, you'll definitely go through more flour with that than you would with the ruby twist. So, but I think they're pretty compatible or comparable. I mean, they're pretty comparable, for sure. I think here's what I think. Having both of them, I think if you got one of them, whichever one you get, you're going to be happy with. That's what I can tell you for sure. I don't think too many people are unhappy with either one of those kits because the pricing is good for them too, right? They're not overly expensive kits. For the experience you get out of them in the end. And I think the Ruby Twist is a little more like if you like to play around and do hacks and stuff like that, I think Ruby Twist is a little more open to it than the Screwball is, right? So you might want to consider that too. Yeah. Gran Turismo VR. Oh. Yeah, I think it's almost time for me to update my system. I'm like on Xbox One. And I know it's time. Um, I've got the Logitech G920 wheel. I love the steering wheel and the pedals, right? And, using the clutch and the shifter, right? 6-speed manual and stuff like that. I absolutely love it. Like slamming through the gears. I grew up driving standards, right? So it's second nature for me. I don't even think about it. And I actually prefer it because I feel like I can control the cars better and, come out of the corners faster and stuff like that. Absolutely love it. All right, I'm here in Roscoe. All right, I'm going to have this Roscoe, and then I'm going to start kind of thinking about wrapping up the live stream in a few minutes. But then we'll have another Roscoe before we're done anyway. Yeah, I'll bring out the Nova on a live stream for sure. For sure, I don't have it handy, but yeah, it's definitely a nice vape too. All right, everybody's agreeing to it's Roscoe time. Oh, Twax time, James. Nice. Nice. All right, still driving the manual. Right on. I love a manual. Yeah, definitely. Uh, I definitely wouldn't shy away from having one, that's for sure. I like it. I like the control. Right? I like the control for sure. Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's do it. Roscoe time. Oh, man. What a fun Friday this is. What a fun Friday. Okay, let's talk about it for a second. Those questions that I threw at you tonight. Where was the difficulty factor? You think it was a tiny bit too difficult? I think yesterday I might have had it better than today, but I'm not sure. You guys can tell me. Should I just dial it down 10%? Because that's what I did. I just kind of turned up the questions. Like I thought, okay, I'll just make them 10% harder. But although you guys knew the vast majority, didn't you? Yeah, you did actually, didn't you? All right, let's go ahead. Roscoe time. Cheers. Jason's on the B2. Yeah, the B2 was pretty long-standing ball vape, eh? That was early on when that was released. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Great Gosh. I appreciate that. I love it. No idea. That's perfect. That's good information too. I can say what I want and it's all good. Too funny. That's a lot of bowls today. Holy smokes. I love it. All in the name of education, right? I'm not calling you old, Jason. I'm saying that ball vape is. But no, it's just been around a long time, right? That's a true classic, that one. All right, cool. All right, cool. So we're in the right range. We're in the right range. That's cool. Gonna go with that. You have to grind. Oh no. Well, all right. We'll wait for you. No idea. Get it together so we can do the final rip of the live stream. But we're not gonna do it without you. That's just not cool. So, give us a thumbs up when you're ready, and then we'll move forward. But until then, we wait patiently. Take your time. Too funny. Too funny. Oh my goodness. Uh, what a riot today, guys. This has been so much fun, eh? I'm starting to space right out now because I've gotten so high. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in and taking time out of your life to join the live stream. And I want to thank everybody honestly for making this possible. I'm having the time of my life doing this. This is so much fun. I get together with a whole bunch of people who think about the plant and vaporizing like I do and share common ideas and these great times and good laughs together. I'm really grateful that we're doing this and that you guys show up for this and make it possible for me. I really do. I truly appreciate it. So I just wanted to say that today. You know, I was thinking about that while I was having my coffee this morning, kind of replaying how things went last night and, you know, what I wanted to talk about today and stuff like that. And I thought I want to make sure I really mention this because it's a really important thing that you guys know. I don't take for granted that you put your time into coming to this live stream. I do take it seriously, and yeah, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love that we do this, so I just feel so blessed. All right, my friends, you ready for the final rip? I gotta have one more. I am absolutely, I'm there. This has been so much fun today, hitting it like this. My dog is laying in front of me, looking at me like, I love you, and it's supper time. I recognize the look. I know why she's hanging around now. She's, you know how labs are, right? They love their supper time and their routine, and if you're off by 5 or 10 minutes, they're looking at you like you're done something wrong to them. So I'm getting that look right now. All right, let's go ahead and have this one. Cheers. Wow. Ruby Twist Pro, right? Yes, everybody. Thank you, JP. Everybody have a beautiful weekend. Have yourself a great time. And thank you again for being here. Hopefully we'll do this again on Thursday or Friday of next week or both.